Hey everybody, Jordan here, back again with birth story number 2, well, for baby number 2, my daughter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into that one. Let's see. So with this birth as well, I wanted to go the same route of going to the birth center that was in Savannah, same midwives, same care, and I wasn't expecting for my birth to end, my birth experience to go the way it went, because my biggest thing was like, okay, well, if I had IUGR concerns or like SGA, small gestational age, or like, you know, if I had these issues with my first baby, like, am I going to have issues like this with my second? Oh, well, they were thinking, not likely. It's not, it's less likely for me to have like a repeat situation. Okay, cool. So my daughter actually was measuring ahead at first. Her estimated due date was January 9th. And she was measuring like a few days, like a week ahead. And then, so of course, like with that, I'm excited, like, oh wow, like, you go girl, she's doing great. She's measuring on time, like around that time. So she keeps up the good work. Like, I can have my birth center baby, my birth center birth experience, and I don't have to go back to the hospital. Well, we hit 3rd trimester, and I got my belly measurements and everything, and I think when I got that first measurement, I think I was like a week behind, maybe a week or 2, but it was a little behind. So I'm like, okay, so here I am back at the high risk place getting ultrasound scans every week. Okay, so I'm like, all right, whatever. And at this point, I'm like trying to do everything I can to like help her gain more weight or grow a little bit more. I'm like, well, what can I do? I was taking like protein powder, like from Pink Stork, I got like the little protein pregnancy, whatever. You add it to your shake, milk, whatever, and makes chocolate protein milk, or well, that's pretty good actually. But I was drinking that every day. I was trying to like eat a little bit more fatty, like I had a pretty good diet overall, like, and I cook, I'm the cook in the house, so like we had a good diet overall. So difference was with that pregnancy, like I wasn't actively working. I was pretty much like a stay-at-home mom, trying to work on like doula stuff and trainings and education. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not like really like that stressed, like, So I already like kind of mentally prepared myself for the worst, but I was hoping that she would be at least 10th percentile. One morning, I was 37 weeks and I was headed to my appointment, and I should have known that that day was not going to turn out how I wanted it to turn out, because a deer literally jumped out in front of my car and I like hit it. My car went boom, 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 and I'm like, okay, what just happened? So I'm like, okay, is the car damaged? Like, is there anything wrong with it? Can I still make it to my appointment? So, anywho, I made it to my appointment, and I told the lady, I was like, when you take my blood pressure, if it's a little up, a deer ran in front of my car and I hit it. So I'm just still in shock. And she's like, oh girl, yeah, we was talking about all that. So I have my scan, and I just want to say, for ultrasound techs out there, if you are scanning someone who maybe in my situation, IUGR, SGA, there's any type of concerns or whatnot. And if that patient has faith or hope that maybe things can turn around, because it has happened to other people, but if that person has hope that things, you know, can turn around and shift for the better and baby can grow or like be less stressed or whatever the situation is, just kind of encourage them, uplift that person. Don't say anything negative, because I know one scan I had, my ultrasound tech, I was telling her like, yeah, you know, I just got faith. Like, I'm claiming the positivity, manifesting that she will grow and be the size that she needs to be so that I don't have to birth at the hospital. Here comes the tip. Oh, I doubt that. No, I don't think, whatever she said, she didn't think that was gonna happen. So I'm like, give me somebody new in here, because why are you coming in here with this negative energy? Like, can you just say, oh yeah, well, you know, I hope so, or, you know, hopefully that happens for you, but if not, then, you know, you'll be taken care of at the hospital, and, you know, have some better bedside care. Like, anywho, so that was just a little PSA to y'all, but yeah, 37 weeks, I had my scan. Everything's great. Like, she's practiced breathing, she's moving, the blood flow from the placenta to the cord is great. My fluid pockets, like, everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. There's literally nothing wrong other than she's just a little small. And I'm like, okay, well, my husband, like, he was either 5 or 6 pounds, and then his full brother, his full sibling, like 5 or 6 pounds as well. I was 7 pounds. Now, I was a C-section baby because my mama had fibroids, but like, I'm not expecting to have an 8, 9, 10 pound baby. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, well, nothing's wrong with her. So I'm not understanding. And I'm still like trying to do research now to this day of like the whole IGR, like SGA, and I really just hate that they categorize each baby just off of this one growth chart. Like, you have so many different people, different shapes, sizes, different heights. Like, you know, 2 short people aren't gonna have a tall baby. A tall person, a short person might have a tall baby, but, you know, so I just hope in the future it just kind of is better categorized. Like, okay, well, you got small people, average small people have babies 6 pounds or something, you know. So anywho, so doctor comes in and she's like, yeah, we're gonna have to like do shit today, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. I called my midwife because she told me to call her once I got done with the scan so she can kind of help come up with a plan. But when I saw her last, my belly measurements were on track. So I don't know. I feel like I could have asked more questions, and maybe I could have not fought against it, but kind of fought a little more when it came to like really figuring out like, you know, well, what's wrong if I don't induce, or like what's gonna happen if I don't induce, like the risk and the pros and cons. Like, they just come in and they tell you what they're gonna do instead of really explaining and elaborating things for you, which is something I've learned to also tell other people. So, but I called her and I was like, well, yeah, they said that she grew like a little bit, but she's not where they would like for her to be. So, they want to induce. And she's like, okay. And she pretty much set up my whole care team, because she used to work at a hospital. So she had a friend who still worked there in labor and delivery, and she also was a midwife as well, just separate from working in a hospital, being a nurse. She's also a midwife. So I was glad to hear that, because my husband didn't want to hire another doula, even though we found a different one who I would have been, I know that she would have given me the care that I was expecting with the first. Like, she would have been great. But he didn't want to pay. Okay, cool. But now I got a nurse who's also a midwife. Like, this is great. So she set up my care team. I went home, came back, and we got the party started. She came in, introduced herself. We were talking, and if I had to have another, we're done having kids, but if I had to have another hospital birth, I would want her. Like, if I had to go back to the same place, I would pray that she's still there, and I would only want her because she was great. And I would never forget her name. But yeah, I did the same method with the Foley balloon. She only blew it up just a little bit because she didn't want her to flip. And talking with her on my scan too, she was just like, she was asking me like, well, what did they think, how much she was gonna weigh? Like, did they say she's gonna weigh an estimate of this many pounds, or like, did they give you more information? I said, no, they didn't. So she was kind of like, I probably should have got that, and I didn't. So yeah, but we did that method, and it kind of helped regulate contractions. So I was already having Braxton Hicks, and I was already 2 centimeters dilated. So I feel like if they had given me until 38 weeks, like, I would have went into labor naturally, probably. So, which would have been a nice experience, because I don't know what that's like. And yeah, so that kind of helped regulate everything. Was doing that overnight, trying to get some movement going on, using the birthing ball, peanut ball, moving around, dancing around. And then I think my overnight nurse, she had took it out, because by that time it had been like, I think 12 hours of having it in. She took it out, and then labor kind of stalled. So I'm still having contractions here and there, but it just wasn't consistent, and it wasn't really strong anymore. So what happened? I think the 7 a.m. hit, my nurse midwife came back on her shift and kind of pretty much said, okay, well, this is what's going on. The labor's pretty much stalled. You're not really having contractions anymore. And, you know, we need to go ahead and like try to work on getting her on out. So I'm like, okay, cool. So she suggested Pitocin. And she was saying how, well, I had got a cervical check, and she couldn't really feel her head, so she was still up. So she said that would help contract her down, get her down, and then they'll break my water. And I just said, okay, I am trusting that you and my husband are gonna have my back and support me, because I didn't want to have an epidural. I wanted to be as natural as possible, and they had my back. I would say Pitocin contractions kind of felt just like the normal contractions I had with my first, but once it got to where they were kind of like back to back, then it's like, okay, I need to catch a break, you know? So I would say that was the downfall I experienced with Pitocin contractions, but I mean, they hurt, period. So, but yeah, but we did that. And I feel like, looking back, I probably could have asked if we could just break my water first, and then maybe try nipple stimulation, which is pumping, to see if that could help kind of keep stuff regulated. So yeah, I feel like I could have asked, but I was trusting my nurse, and everything worked out just fine. So luckily it was the eve to Christmas Eve. So it was the 23rd. Yeah, because her birthday's 23rd. So it was December 23rd. There's like literally no other moms there, maybe like one or two other moms there, but I was her only patient. So she's stuck with me in my room pretty much the whole time. She stepped out here and there for a few minutes, but pretty much she was in my room helping with comfort measures. And we had a game plan of, okay, we're gonna move, we're gonna keep flipping and rotating and using the peanut ball and the yoga ball, and we're gonna get this baby out. And that's what we did. Every about 25, 30 minutes, she would flip me like a rotisserie chicken, and she was helping with comfort and pain management. And then it's funny because like they ask, do you feel pressure? And it's just like, what do you mean? And then with my first, I had epidural. With her, I'm all in. So I'm like, I don't know, like, I guess, I don't know. Sure, yeah. Eventually, like, I kind of trying to tune into my body. I was like, okay, like that I can feel like pressure, like the need to like bear down or like push in a sense. So, wow, I'm just thinking back, like that was a crazy experience. But after a while, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can like feel it. But at the time, I'm like, I don't really know what I'm feeling, you know? So, I'm on the hands and knees, but I'm on the yoga ball, and another midwife from the birth center comes in. And I was so happy to see her. And I think towards the end of my care, I kind of saw her a little bit more. So I'm thinking I probably, if I went in naturally and everything was okay, I probably would have birthed with her. But she came in and she was hands-on, helping out, doing the hip jiggles or the booty jiggles, just whatever she could do. She was there to help and support and just kind of keep me as calm as possible, because yeah. So I'm still on hands and knees, and I feel her head bulge like in and out real quick, and I was like, oh my God. When I said that, my nurse was like, hold on, wait, let me check you real quick, because she had been wanting to check me the whole time. And I was just like, no, because in my head I'm thinking like she's still probably up there, like the cervical check is gonna hurt. So she's like, okay, I know you don't want me to check you, but let me just see real quick. And she didn't even go all the way, and she just doop, and she's like, oh, her head is right there, don't you push, let me go grab everything and grab the doctor. And she did that. And I'm like, girl, you better hurry up, because this girl finna slip on out like butter. So they came back, everything got set up, and she came out in 2 pushes. So I was ready for that to be over. I'm like, this girl's coming out. I'm pushing her out. So that was pretty cool. We had a all-girl staff. My assigned doctor was a male, and he was there for my first, but I just wanted an all-girl staff, and I just wanted it to be like more intimate, no students, nothing. Like I just wanted to be real chilled. And then she was all for my birth plan too. Like she had a copy, and she was like, whatever you want to do, we'll do it. And yeah. So afterwards, the midwife that came from the birth center, she's also an IBCLC. So she helped express milk and helped with getting my daughter latched on. So like, she was great. If I could have kept her my whole stay, I would have, because I feel like hospital IBCLC, sometimes they don't really pour into helping you the way that you really want that help sometimes. Like, I need you to come in here and get hands-on and like help pop her on, but also bring me the pump, because I do want to pump. And yeah, so, but we stayed in the hospital a total of 5 days. After she was born, she had a little jaundice, because it's Christmas. her doctor's office wasn't open, so they just kept us until we had our appointment scheduled, which I talked to the on-call pediatrician at her doctor's office and was like, hey, we're in the hospital, blah, 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 this was going on. They want to keep us because y'all don't open back up until it's like 2 days or whatever, but can you schedule something for us? So she got all that worked out, and because they just want to monitor the jaundice. But yeah, she was a very sleepy baby, and that was definitely a fight with getting her to latch on, but I got help from an IBCLC who came to my house, and I think we did like 2 visits with her. But yeah, it was overall like a really great experience. I think I could have asked more questions in that moment, but I also have learned kind of with IUGR, maybe SGAs, like your body health, like your iron levels, your vitamin levels and all that, like everything really plays a part in your pregnancy and all of that. So, and I had issues with iron for both kids. So I feel like in pregnancy, they should definitely run a wide blood test, instead of just running the basics or just checking iron. Like, check literally everything, because if you're deficient in some stuff and you don't know and they don't check, then that can lead to, you know, having issues with your pregnancy or nutrients and all that stuff. So I've kind of learned about that. So I just feel like America's healthcare system could be way more better, especially when it comes to pregnancy and caring for moms, even postpartum as well, like running tests, because you got moms to deal with depression and their vitamin D levels are low. Like, run these tests, check everything, you know, take care of us, because we continue the generations and the cycles, you know. But yeah, so that was my birth story for baby number 2. Share with me and tell me how your experiences were. If you've also had an IUGR baby, how was your induction process and all that good stuff. So, but just keep tuning in, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.